Ever, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of my all-time favorite Easter treats, the classic hot cross bun. Forget the store-bought ones, because I'm going to show you how to make a batch of soft, spicy, and perfectly sweet buns right in your own kitchen. They're so much easier than you think, and the smell that will fill your house is absolutely heavenly. So, roll up your sleeves and let's get baking. First things first, let's get our dough started. This is the heart and soul of our hot cross buns. In a small bowl, we're going to activate our yeast. Pour in 1 cup of warm milk. Make sure it's not too hot, just lukewarm, like a nice warm bath. To that, we add 2½ teaspoons of active dry yeast and 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. Give it a gentle stir and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until it gets nice and foamy. That foam is our sign that the yeast is alive and ready to work its magic. While the yeast is blooming, let's prep our dry ingredients. In a large mixing bowl, combine 4 cups of all-purpose flour, ½ cup of granulated sugar, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, ½ teaspoon of allspice, and a teaspoon of salt. These spices are what give hot cross buns their signature warm and comforting flavor. Whisk all of these together until they're evenly distributed. This step ensures you get a little bit of spice in every single bite. Now, let's bring it all together. To your dry ingredients, add the foamy yeast mixture. Then, crack in 1 large egg and add 4 tablespoons of melted, slightly cooled unsalted butter. It is time to get your hands in there or use a stand mixer with a dough hook attachment. Mix everything until it forms a shaggy dough. It will look a bit messy at first, but trust the process. Once the dough comes together, it's time to knead. If you're using a stand mixer, knead on medium-low speed for about 6 to 8 minutes. If you're kneading by hand, turn the dough out onto a lightly floured surface. Knead it for about 10 to 12 minutes. You're looking for a dough that is smooth, elastic, and slightly tacky to the touch. It should spring back slowly when you poke it. Don't skimp on the kneading time. This develops the gluten and gives our buns that wonderful soft and chewy texture. Now for the fun part, the fruit. We're adding 1 cup of raisins, or you can use a mix of currants and sultanas. If you want, you can also add 1/4 cup of mixed peel for that traditional citrusy note. Gently knead the fruit into the dough until it's evenly distributed. Try not to over-knead at this stage, or you might crush the fruit. Once the fruit is incorporated, place the dough into a lightly oiled bowl. Turn it over once to coat the top, which prevents a skin from forming. Cover the bowl with a clean kitchen towel or plastic wrap and place it in a warm, draft-free spot to rise. Let it sit for about 1 to 1½ hours, or until it has doubled in size. This is a great time to clean up a bit or just relax with a cup of tea. Our dough has doubled beautifully. Now, gently punch it down to release the air. Turn it out onto your floured surface and divide it into 12 equal pieces. I like to use a kitchen scale for this to make sure my buns are all uniform, but you can just eyeball it. Roll each piece into a smooth, tight ball. This tension on the surface helps the buns rise upwards in the oven. Arrange the dough balls on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, leaving a little space between each one. They'll expand and snuggle up together as they bake, which is exactly what we want. Cover them again with your kitchen towel and let them go for their second rise. This will take about 30 to 45 minutes. They should be puffy and have increased in size by about half. While they're rising, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Next up, the iconic cross. For the paste, simply mix half a cup of all-purpose flour with about 5 to 6 tablespoons of water. You want a thick but pipeable paste, kind of like toothpaste. Transfer this paste to a piping bag with a small round tip, or just use a small zip-top bag and snip off the corner. Carefully pipe a line across each row of buns. Then turn the tray and pipe lines in the other direction to create your crosses. Into the preheated oven they go. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes, or until they're a deep golden brown and sound hollow when you tap the bottom. Your kitchen will smell absolutely incredible right about now. While the buns are baking, let's make a quick glaze to give them that beautiful shine. In a small saucepan, gently heat up 2 tablespoons of apricot jam with 1 tablespoon of water until it is smooth and pourable. As soon as the buns come out of the oven, brush them generously with the warm apricot glaze. This not only makes them look stunning, but also adds a lovely touch of sweetness and keeps them soft. Let them cool on the baking sheet for a few minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely. Or, if you're like me, you just can't wait and have to tear one open while it's still warm, slathered with butter, and there you have it. Perfect homemade hot cross buns. They're fluffy, fragrant, and filled with flavor. I promise, once you make these from scratch, you'll never go back. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen today. If you enjoyed this recipe, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more delicious bakes. Happy Easter and happy baking!